second term. Joining us now, a member of the Oversight Committee, Democratic Congressman Raja Krishnamoorthi of Illinois. He's also a candidate for the U.S. Senate there in that state. Congressman, thank you for joining us this morning. Let's start with what came out yesterday, the emails that the House Oversight Democrats put out, but then later this flood from Republicans, which seemingly was intended to distract, but frankly, some of those emails didn't look all that great for President Trump either. So just what do you think, in your estimation, what did the American public learn yesterday?
Well, I think what they learned is that I think Donald Trump knows a lot more than what he's letting on. And I think the one email that really stands out is where Epstein says that Donald Trump, quote unquote, knew about the girls. OK, that is obviously directly opposite of what Donald Trump has claimed in terms of zero knowledge of what Jeffrey Epstein did. But just to level set, I think the one thing that I would just say, which is really providing the backdrop to what we're seeing right now, are the survivors and the victims. I met with them along with many members of the Oversight Committee. We met with them for 2.5 hours. It was some of the most gut-wrenching conversations I've ever had in Congress. And many of these people have no knowledge of the files, even documenting their own trauma, because they lost memory of it. There were more than 1,000 victims. These are children who have yet to receive any justice after 2 decades of being traumatized. And so for their sake, but also to prevent this from ever happening again, we got to get to the bottom of what happened and get those files.
So, Congressman, that was my next question is, obviously, you don't know particulars. We haven't seen them yet. But what is, even in broad strokes, your understanding of what still is out there? What is the material that could be released were the House and Senate to vote for it?
I think there's a lot. Obviously, there's photographs, there's documents about financial transactions. I think that particular category itself is a tremendous trove of information that we need to get access to. Ron Wyden, the senator from Oregon, and financial institutions confirmed that there were more than $1 billion in transactions associated with this child sex trafficking ring. So knowing who paid whom and following the money will be very important for really getting to the bottom of what happened.
And Congressman, I'm wondering if you can pull at a thread for me here that I've been thinking a lot about when covering this story this week, especially on the heels of a shutdown when our growing income inequality has been in such stark relief. The thing about this story that really stands out to me is this continued pattern of there being a billionaire class and that class being protected and favored by Donald Trump, the story of have and have-nots. I mean, when you listen to these women who go on MSNBC and share their stories across media outlets and talk about what this has done to them, I mean, it really sets, I think, the scene for just the power disparity here. And I think we're seeing that consistently in a lot of different ways across this administration when it comes to recent policies and actions taken by the president. I mean, how do you see it?
100%. I think there are two systems of criminal justice. In this particular case, rich and powerful men who abused literally thousands of children and young girls have now escaped accountability for more than 2 decades, whereas other people are routinely, prosecuted and sentenced per our laws and rules and regulations. And so there are two justice systems. George Santos gets a pardon, whereas other people, languish in our prisons and don't necessarily get the same measure of leniency that someone like he does. So we are in that kind of system of unfairness right now.
Democratic Congressman Raja Krishnamoorthi of Illinois. Congressman, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.